and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the news cycle on Global TV, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agmofwegwe, reminding our viewers that we are on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. President Bola Tinubu has called on Japan to support Africa's push for reforms at the United Nations Security Council, making clear that the continent deserves stronger representation in global decision-making. Speaking in Yokohama at the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, Tinubu insisted that Africa should be granted 2 permanent seats with veto powers, as well as additional non-permanent seats in line with the Eswatini Consensus. Minister of Interior, Dr. Tunji Olubunmi-Ojo, has charged newly promoted senior officers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, to uphold diligence, fairness, and integrity as they take on greater responsibilities. Represented by the Secretary of the Civil Defense, Fire, Correctional, and Immigration Services Board, Major General Abdulmalik Jibril, retired. The minister gave the charge while decorating 22 Assistant Commandants General of Corps at the Dr. Ade Abolore Auditorium in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere has details.
It was a day of pride, joy, and renewed responsibility as 22 senior officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps received their long-awaited promotion to the rank of Assistant Commandant General. The colorful decoration ceremony not only marked a career milestone for the officers, but also a moment of celebration for their families who witnessed the achievement. Representing the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi-Ojo, the Secretary of the Civil Defense, Fire, Correctional, and Immigration Service Board, Major General Abdulmalik Jibril, retired, reminded the newly promoted officers that promotion comes with accountability and urged them to bring innovation that will help address Nigeria's current security challenges.
Therefore, there is no statement that as we have been endeavoring with insecurity across the country, as already mentioned, we expect that they will bring to bear their various experiences to bear in tackling the challenges of national security.
On his part, Commandant General of NSCDC, Professor Abubakar Ahmed Audi, while congratulating the officers, urged them to show loyalty, professionalism, and dedication while mentoring their subordinates. He also commended the minister's reform, which have cleared promotion stagnation in the service.
See what happens today. That is the product of hard work, commitment, and unwavering determination. So we thank the President for this. Then to our officers that are decorated today, you've heard it from my minister. He said to whom much is given, much is expected. And it is popularly said that the higher you go, the tougher it becomes. The more promotion you get, the more challenges you face. So at this level, they have entered a very, very senior cadre of the management of the Corps. And so they are expected, you've heard it from the minister, to be role models. They are expected to behave very well. And of course, they are expected to mentor.
The newly decorated officers pledged to justify their new ranks with renewed commitment to national security and service to the country. Highlight of the event was the oath of allegiance administered to the officers and the presentation of 5 million naira checks to the families of the personnel who lost their lives in the line of duty. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
Well, thank you, Kikelomo. The Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission has commenced a review of remuneration packages for political, public, and judicial office holders across the country. Chairman of the committee, Mohammed Bello, disclosed this at a retreat organized in Kano State, as contained in a statement issued in Abuja by Mariam Yusuf, Head of Public Relations Units of the Fiscal Agency. Usman also noted that the importance of the assignment is for the growth of Nigeria's governance structure. The federal government is set to train over 10 million youths across the country in digital and technical skills. Those skills include programming, AI innovation, plumbing, tiling, and other vocational trades. Ubong Usoro concludes the report.
The Federal Ministry of Education, through the Nigerian Youth Employment and Skill Acquisition Fund, has partnered with the World Bank to train service providers who will, in turn, train the youth nationwide. Speaking at the signing of MOU in Abuja, the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, represented by Dr. Nabila Mohammed, said the program is designed to tackle unemployment by equipping young Nigerians with skills that meet global demands.
You have all been shortlisted and visited, and you must have shown some form of commitment to be here today. So congratulations once again.
The World Bank representative, Dr. Mustara Rufai, said the initiative is a bold step towards preparing youth for future work by combining digital literacy with technical skills to create new generation of innovators and problem solvers.
The bank, in its bid to see youths acquire relevant skills, relevant market skills, is investing in the TVET sector. And it's not just to train them, but to see them get certification under the National Sales Qualification Framework and also to get employment.
The National Project Coordinator of the Nigerian Youth Employment Through Skill Acquisition Fund, Blessing Ugu, said the service providers were selected after a rigorous process, stating that over 10 million Nigerian youth will be trained for 6 months all over the country.
The federal government of Nigeria, in this present administration, is focusing on training our youth, equipping them with specific skills that with the skills that the students can go out and have jobs.
The program will begin with the signing of the MOU with service providers before the full-scale training commences across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Stakeholders express optimism that the scheme will bridge the skill gap, enhance job creation, and contribute significantly to economic growth. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
Commissioner of Police for the Federal Capital Territory, Ajao Adewale, has disclosed that illegal mining has evolved into a powerful cartel-controlled business funded by influential Nigerians. He says this illicit trade is driving banditry and costing the nation an estimated $9 billion, equivalent to 13.7 trillion naira on a yearly basis. FCT Commissioner of Police made this known at a media briefing organized by the Nigeria Union of Journalists in Abuja. Defense correspondent Kekalama Okere was there for Global Television.
Speaking at the media briefing organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists FCT Council, the fight against illegal mining, role of the media in Abuja, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Ajao Adewale, described illegal mining as one of the Nigeria's most serious national security threats. He identified Zamfara, Nasarawa, Kogi, Kaduna, Niger, Kwara, Osun, and part of the FCT as major hotspots. Notably, over 72 suspects connected to illegal mining were arrested in Abuja alone between 2023 and 2024. Adewale emphasized that without strong cooperation between security agencies and the media, this criminals cartel will continue to prosper.
From illegal mining, and I'm taking what has happened between 2023 and 2025. Within these 3 years, Nigeria has lost a total of 41.1 trillion naira to illegal mining in physical cash. This is outside the human life that has been wasted.
In a remark, Grace Ike, the chairman of the NUJ FCT Council, called on journalists to move beyond basic reporting. She urged them to engage in investigative journalism that uncovers the financier behind illegal mining, gives voice to affected communities, and exerts pressure on policymakers.
We must leverage these platforms responsibly and disseminate vital information, debunk misinformation, and encourage a national conversation on sustainable mining practices. And that's exactly why we are gathered here today.
By providing balanced and accurate coverage, the media can shed light on the hidden danger, highlight the human and environmental toll, and compel authorities to take decisive action. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
Time to turn to other stories now. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, has donated 1.7 billion naira to support humanitarian relief efforts in Yelwata and Naka communities of Guma and West local government areas in Benue State. Our correspondent in Benue, Felicity Indere, now reports. We'll bring you that story in detail later. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle with Uyi Agmofwebe. When the rest of the broadcast returns shortly, United Nations Guterres reiterates call for immediate ceasefire over Gaza. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us. Well, thank you for staying with us here on the News Cycle. The second part of the broadcast now returns with business. The House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee has summoned 11 electricity distribution companies to explain their combined debt of 2.6 trillion naira to the Federation, as stated in the 2021 Auditor General's report. Managing Director of the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC, Johnson Akinawo, confirmed that as of September 2020, Abuja Distribution Company owes 330.4 billion naira, Ikeja 310 billion naira, Ibadan 325.7 billion naira, while others, including Kaduna, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Eko, and Yola, also bear huge liabilities. Lawmakers have now ordered the distribution companies to present repayment plans amid concerns over under remittances, uncollected market debts, and reports of 100 billion naira paid to generation firms for undelivered electricity. The National Information Technology Development Agency says Google, Microsoft, and TikTok have deactivated more than 13.5 million accounts last year as part of compliance with the country's digital safety code. The platforms also removed nearly 59 million harmful pieces of content after receiving over 750,000 user complaints. The agency noted that the move shows growing transparency and accountability in how global tech firms operate in Nigeria's fast-expanding online space. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adeboyega Oyetola, says the Lekki Deep-Sea Port is projected to generate $200 billion in revenue for government over its 45-year concession. He explained that the world-class facility has already begun easing congestion in Lagos and boosting Nigeria's competitiveness as a regional logistics hub, with cargo now moving faster due to completed federal and state road links. Oyetola also noted that the port stands on 5 pillars that include strategic location, strong public-private partnership, integrated transport networks, supportive policies, and technology-driven operations, making it a model for trade and shipping growth in Nigeria. And now to the foreign scene, where the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has renewed his calls for an immediate ceasefire as Israel approves a military plan for Gaza City. Speaking to reporters in Japan on the sidelines of the Tokyo International Conference on African Development, Guterres called for the unconditional release of hostages held by Hamas. Zarao Nassiro has more.
The Israeli settlement plan, which will bisect the occupied West Bank and cut it off from East Jerusalem, was announced last week and received the final go-ahead from a Defense Ministry Planning Commission on Wednesday. Guterres also urged Israel to reverse a decision to expand what he described as illegal settlement construction in the West Bank.
And talking about peace, I must reiterate that it is vital to reach immediately a ceasefire in Gaza and the unconditional release of all hostages, and to avoid the massive deaths and destruction that a military operation against Gaza City would inevitably cause.
Hamas recently said it accepted a proposal for a 60-day ceasefire and a hostages for prisoners exchange, but Israel is weighing the offer. Zahra Nasr, reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you, Ziral. Belgium says significant progress has not been made in efforts to resolve the conflict between Democratic Republic of Congo and M23 rebels. During his visit to Kinshasa, the Congolese capital, Belgium's Foreign Affairs Minister highlighted the lack of progress in peace process between the M23 armed group and the Democratic Republic of Congo, which he noted is devastating the eastern parts of the country.
The Congolese government and the Rwanda-backed M23 had signed a ceasefire agreement in July aimed at leading to a permanent end to the fighting that has devastated the DRC's mineral-rich but conflict-torn east. Under the terms of the deal, which followed talks in Qatar, the parties were to begin peace talks on August 8 and finalize an agreement by August 18. However, neighboring Rwanda denies providing military backing to the M23 rebel group, but United Nations experts say the Rwanda army played a critical role in the group's offensive, including combat operations. Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
And now to a different story. Russia has launched a fresh broadside at Europe's handling of the Ukraine conflict. Moscow's top diplomat, Sergei Lavrov, accused European leaders of failing to present constructive ideas during a high-level meeting with United States President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky earlier this week. Mukhtar Qasim reports.
The Brussels summit brought together key European heads of state who had hoped to win Trump's backing for tougher action against Moscow. But the Russian foreign minister dismissed those efforts as little more than political theater. Lavrov accused European governments of prioritizing pressure campaigns over meaningful diplomacy. He said the talks showed Europe was more interested in aligning Washington with its position than in finding real solution to the fighting.
Здесь мы пока видим только достаточно агрессивное нагнетание обстановки, достаточно неуклюжие и, в общем-то, такие неэтичные попытки изменить позицию администрации Трампа и лично президента Соединенных Штатов, как мы это наблюдали во время сопровождения европейцами господина Зеленского в Вашингтон. Вот, в понедельник на этой неделе мы там не услышали никаких конструктивных идей из уст европейцев.
Lavrov's sharp word underlined a growing diplomatic rift. While Europe insists unity with Washington is vital to counter Russian aggression, Moscow claims Western leaders are unwilling to address its own security concerns. Analysts say the remarks reflect a long-standing Kremlin strategy, portraying Europe as divided, weak, and overly dependent on the United States. It is a narrative Russia hopes will undermine Western solidarity as the war drags on. Mukhtar Qasim, reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you so very much, Mukhtar. In sports now, Team Nigeria has once again dominated the Confederation of African Athletics Region 2 Senior Championships in Accra, winning 25 medals, including 15 gold, 8 silver, and 2 bronze. The athletes excelled in sprints, quarter-mile races, and field events, improving on last year's tally of 18 medals overall. Burkina Faso also placed second with 21 medals, followed by Benin Republic and Ghana, while Togo, Ivory Coast, and Gambia also featured on the medals table of the 2-day West African competition. Nigeria's Tobi Amuso has finished 5th in the women's 100-meter hurdles at the Lucerne Diamond League after clocking 12.82 seconds. The world record holder could not match her performance from the previous week in Silesia, where she ran 12.25 seconds to place 3rd. Despite the setback, Amuson says she remains focused on her preparations for the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan, where she will be among Nigeria's medal hopefuls. And I wait for football. Arsenal are reportedly close to signing Crystal Palace star Eberechi Eze in a dramatic move that could hijack Tottenham's pursuit of the midfielder. Reports from transfer expert Fabrizio Romano suggest the Gunners have matched Spurs' bid of around £68 million, with the deal driven by concerns over an injury to Kai Havertz. Eze, once part of Arsenal's youth ranks, is seen as a major addition as the club aims to strengthen its squad for another Premier League title challenge. Quite a valuable asset there. It's a full cycle on the news already. A big thank you to you for watching, but we'd love to remind you that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using a Global TV NG as well as other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe saying we appreciate your time with us here on the news cycle, and bye-bye.